Chosen one, the ground beneath this nation is shifting, and the ones who stayed faithful when it was unpopular are about to feel the weight of that shift in their favor. You can feel it, can't you? Something in the air, not loud, not dramatic, just a quiet turning. Like a page that's been stuck for years finally loosening. America is about to reward the faithful, not the loudest, not the most visible, not the ones who cut corners when no one was looking, but the ones who endured, the ones who kept showing up when it felt pointless. And before we go any further, stay with me until the very end of this message. Don't rush it, let it unfold. And if your heart has been carrying a wish for a long time, if you've been whispering hopes into the dark when nobody heard you, write your warmest wish in the comments and seal it with Amen. There is something powerful about speaking it, about releasing it, about letting your faith breathe in public, even just for a moment. Sometimes the act of declaring it shifts something unseen. Now listen, this isn't about politics. It's not about flags or headlines or who's trending this week. It's deeper than that. America, at its core, has always been a testing ground, a place where people were stretched, where dreams were built out of nothing but stubborn belief. And somewhere along the way, the faithful started to feel forgotten. Like integrity became a disadvantage, like patience was punished, like doing the right thing quietly meant being invisible. You felt that. I know you did. You watched people rise by cutting deals in the dark. You saw shortcuts celebrated. You saw values mocked. And there were moments, real ones, when you wondered if you were naive for holding on, for refusing to bend, for saying no when it would have been easier to say yes. But here's what no one tells you. Faith doesn't disappear in seasons of silence. It stores power. It gathers weight. Every time you chose discipline over impulse, every time you stayed honest when lying would have paid faster, every time you forgave instead of exploding, every time you worked when no one applauded, you were building something invisible, and invisible things are often the strongest structures. America has a rhythm. It expands, it overreaches, it corrects, it resets. And we are entering a correction season, a recalibration, the kind that doesn't announce itself with fireworks but with subtle shifts in opportunity. Doors opening in places that used to be locked. Favor landing where it used to bounce off. This isn't random. The faithful are about to be trusted again. There's a fatigue in the system right now. You can feel it if you pay attention. People are tired of noise, tired of surface, tired of flash without substance. And when cultures get tired like that, they start looking for something steady, something rooted, something real. That's you. You stayed rooted, even when you felt buried. And there's a difference. Buried, things grow. You've been underground in ways you didn't choose, overlooked, underestimated, maybe even laughed at. But underground seasons aren't punishment. They're preparation. Roots deepen in darkness. Strength forms where no one claps. America rewards value. Eventually, not instantly, not fairly at first, but eventually. We are stepping into an era where resilience is currency, where character becomes visible again, where long-term thinking beats quick wins. And the faithful, the ones who didn't sell their core for convenience, suddenly look different in the light. You're going to notice small confirmations first. A conversation that shifts, an unexpected opportunity, a person of influence noticing your consistency. It won't feel like a miracle at first. It will feel almost ordinary. That's how real transitions begin, quietly. Don't dismiss the small shifts. They're signals. There's also something else happening. A transfer of trust. Institutions are being questioned. Systems are being reevaluated. And when trust gets scarce, it moves toward those who've proven themselves over time, not in speeches, in actions. Your steady choices are about to matter more than you think. And I need you to hear this clearly. The reward isn't just financial, though for many of you, provision is part of it. It's also influence, stability, peace, authority. In spaces where you once felt small, you won't have to shout, you won't have to chase. You will be invited, because faithfulness builds a reputation that time cannot erase. There were nights you doubted this country. Let's be honest. Nights you wondered if the values you believed in even had a place here anymore. Nights when cynicism felt easier than hope, but you didn't fully surrender to bitterness. You felt it, you wrestled with it, but you didn't let it own you. That restraint matters. Bitterness corrodes vision. and your vision is about to be needed. There is a generation coming up behind you that's hungry for something solid. They've seen chaos, they've grown up in noise. They don't need perfection. They need examples, and people like you, imperfect but principled, become anchors in times like these. America doesn't just reward with money, it rewards with positioning. Think about that. Positioning. Being in the right place when momentum shifts. Being prepared when the tide turns. Being steady when others panic. You've been preparing without realizing it. While others were sprinting, you were training. While others were showing off, you were refining. While others were chasing applause, you were building substance. And substance lasts. The reward won't always look like fireworks. Sometimes it looks like peace in your home while others are scrambling. Sometimes it looks like steady growth when others experience sudden collapse. Sometimes it looks like your name being spoken in rooms you never entered. There's a dignity coming back into style, a respect for consistency, a hunger for integrity. And when culture gets hungry like that, it starts elevating the ones who already carry what's missing. Don't shrink now. That's important. When things begin to shift in your favor, your instinct might be to play small, to downplay your growth, to act like you don't deserve it. But humility is not self-erasure. You can remain grounded without pretending you're invisible. You endured for a reason, and here's something that might feel uncomfortable. Some of the same people who overlooked you will benefit from your elevation. That's part of the design. Faithful people don't rise just for themselves. They create stability for others. You're not being rewarded so you can boast. You're being positioned so you can build. Build families, build businesses, build communities, build spaces where faith isn't mocked but lived. America has always had cycles of forgetting and remembering. We forgot certain principles for a while. We chased illusions, we glamorized shortcuts. But remembering is happening now, slowly, quietly, and those who never forgot, they're about to feel seen. There will still be noise, still be chaos. Don't expect perfection. This isn't about a flawless nation. It's about a rebalancing, about values finding oxygen again. Stay steady. Don't get distracted by temporary turbulence. Turbulence often comes right before altitude changes, and altitude changes require stable wings. You've grown stronger than you realize. Stronger emotionally, stronger financially, stronger spiritually. The version of you that started this journey wouldn't recognize who you are now, and that growth wasn't accidental. It was forged through waiting, through disappointment, through private battles you never posted about. Those battles carved depth into you. Depth is rare, and rare things are valuable. America is about to reward the faithful, not because it suddenly became perfect, but because systems eventually need stability. And stability is built on people who didn't fold under pressure. You didn't fold. Even when it would have been easier, there's momentum building behind the scenes. Partnerships forming, ideas maturing, economic shifts creating space for new leadership. You might not see the full picture yet. That's okay. You don't need to see the whole map to take the next step. Just stay aligned. Keep your standards high. Keep your discipline intact. Keep your heart soft but your spine strong. The reward isn't just coming from outside. It's rising from within you. Confidence that doesn't need validation. Clarity that doesn't require consensus. Peace that isn't dependent on headlines. And when external doors open, because they will, you'll walk through them differently than you would have years ago. Not desperate, not frantic, but grounded. Chosen. One, this is not hype, it's a shift. You can feel it in your chest, in your decisions, in your restraint, in your renewed focus. America is about to reward the faithful. Stay ready. Don't blink now. Chosen one. This is the moment where everything you carried quietly begins to carry you. You've walked through this entire message with me, not because it sounded dramatic, not because it promised something flashy, but because something inside you recognized it. There's a difference between hype and resonance. Hype excites you for a minute. Resonance stays in your chest long after the words are done. What's happening now in this country? It's not loud. It's not always visible on the surface. But there's a tightening, a refining, almost like pressure building before a release. Systems don't collapse overnight. They adjust, they correct, they shift power gradually. And when that shift happens, it favors those who didn't panic when things looked unstable. That was you. You didn't run when values were questioned. You didn't throw away your discipline just because others did. You felt tempted. You felt tired. But you didn't betray yourself. And I need you to understand something clearly now. That internal loyalty has positioned you more than any shortcut ever could. There were seasons where it felt like faithfulness was invisible, like nobody noticed, like you were building on empty ground. But foundations are never glamorous. They're poured in silence. They're buried. They're reinforced where nobody can see. And then one day, the structure rises. We're entering that rising phase, not in a chaotic explosion, not in some overnight fantasy, but in steady, undeniable elevation. The kind that feels earned, the kind that feels right, the kind that doesn't require you to become someone else in order to receive it. You won't have to compromise to step into what's next. That's important, because compromise would cancel the meaning of the reward. This shift is about alignment, not adjustment. You don't need to change your core. You just need to remain steady as the environment recalibrates around you. Look at what's happening culturally. People are exhausted by instability. They're tired of empty charisma. They're skeptical of quick success stories. There's a hunger for something grounded again, something dependable, something that doesn't disappear when pressure hits. That's why the faithful rise in seasons like this, because trust becomes rare, and rare things become valuable. You've built trust in quiet ways, in the way you show up, in the way you handle responsibility, in the way you absorb pressure without spreading chaos. You may not even realize how noticeable that is, but people feel it. Leaders feel it. Communities feel it. Markets even respond to it. Stability attracts opportunity, and you are stable in ways that only hardship could create. Remember the nights when you questioned everything, when you felt behind, when you wondered if your patience was costing you momentum. Those nights shaped your endurance. They stripped away illusions. They refined your motives. They forced you to ask yourself who you really were without applause. Now you know, you're not driven by noise. You're not controlled by trends. You're not addicted to shortcuts. You value depth over display. And depth is about to matter again. There's something else you need to hear before we close this. The reward of the faithful isn't always loud celebration. Sometimes it's authority, influence, access. Sometimes it's being the calm voice in rooms that used to intimidate you. Sometimes it's financial stability that doesn't feel fragile anymore. Sometimes it's generational impact, your decisions affecting people you haven't even met yet. You're not just stepping into personal elevation, you're stepping into responsibility. That's why the process took so long. Because elevation without maturity destroys people, but elevation with discipline multiplies impact. You've grown, quietly, painfully, gradually, and now the timing is different. You'll start noticing alignment, conversations flowing easier, doors opening without you forcing them, resources appearing at the right moment. It won't feel random, it will feel orchestrated, and that's because preparation meets opportunity at very specific intersections. You're approaching one. Don't sabotage it with doubt. When the shift becomes visible, your old insecurities might try to resurface. They'll whisper that it's temporary, that it's luck, that it's not sustainable. Don't listen. Those voices belong to past versions of you who hadn't survived what you've survived. You are not that version anymore. You're sharper now, calmer, less reactive, more observant. And that's dangerous in the best way, because calm people with vision and discipline reshape environments without needing permission. America has always reinvented itself. It corrects course through cycles, and we are entering a corrective season where substance outweighs spectacle, where consistency beats charisma, where faithfulness isn't mocked. It's sought after. You stayed consistent. So when consistency becomes currency again, you won't be scrambling to adapt. You'll already be positioned. Let others chase noise. Let others panic when markets shift or headlines change. Your assignment is steadiness. Keep building, keep refining, keep showing up with integrity even when it feels repetitive. Repetition builds mastery. Mastery builds authority. Authority builds legacy. And legacy outlives trends. There's a calm confidence forming in you right now as you hear this. I can feel it. Not arrogance, not ego, just quiet certainty. The kind that doesn't need validation because it's anchored in lived experience. That's the energy you carry forward. Chosen one. America is about to reward the faithful, not because it suddenly became perfect, but because stability becomes essential when chaos runs its course. And the faithful are stable. They're durable. They're trustworthy. You are trustworthy. Don't underestimate how powerful that is in a world that's questioning everything. This is not about domination. It's about stewardship. It's about using what comes to build, not to boast, to protect, not to exploit, to elevate others as you rise. That's the difference between those who last and those who burn out. You're built to last. So when the shift becomes obvious, when your efforts start returning visible fruit, receive it without guilt. Receive it without shrinking. Receive it with gratitude and strength. You endured. You remained. You didn't fold. And now you rise. Stay steady, stay grounded, stay faithful. The season is changing, and this time it's changing in your favor.